All right, very warm welcome, everybody, to our practice tonight. Please get comfortable, seated or lying down. Make this into a cozy time for yourself. There's a nice word in the Danish language, hygge, sense of coziness, cozy togetherness. And in this case, it's cozy together with all your sub-personalities, at least for half an hour to an hour in the day. Let's wave the white flag and not be in inner contradiction. Can you allow yourself 30 to 60 minutes in a day where you're not fighting with yourself? You're not beating yourself up. Just allowing all your sub-personalities to coexist. "60 minutes of truce." So today's practice, I got these nice two words before the practice: ever equipped, ever equipped. Always equipped. Equipped for what? Equipped for whatever life throws up. Ever equipped. So let's explore these two words today. Ever equipped. So if you're here, recording or live, whether you're listening to the recording or listening to the live session, if you're here, then you're the right person to be here. And if I'm speaking, then I'm the right person to be speaking. So I'm equipped to speak, and you're equipped to listen. I love this story. Jacob Lieberman, one of my favorite teachers, authors, he was about to give a talk, and he had prepared all these index cards with all these notes. And just before, you're typically waiting before you're getting introduced before you get onto the podium. So as he's getting introduced, it occurs to him, he's planned every sentence of a 2-hour talk on a subject that he's supposed to be a world expert on. And this realization struck him so hard that all these cards fell to the floor, scattered. They'd been carefully organized, and they just fell to the floor and they scattered. And he didn't bother picking them up. He just went onto the podium. And he shared his insight with the audience. I just realized that I had prepared almost every sentence of the next 2 hours on a topic that I'm supposed to be a world expert on. And that realization struck me so hard that all these cards have now fallen on the floor. And I've chosen not to rely on them. I'm going to speak to you from my heart. And he said the moment he said that, it was like the whole audience took a collective sigh of relief. They all felt the power of what he'd said. And they were so happy to listen to him speaking from his heart. He said that 2-hour lecture went on to become a 3 or 4 hour lecture. Nobody wanted to leave. Time just dissolved. It was one of the most powerful experiences of his life. And so what I got from reading that short story is it takes infinite preparation to be who you're not. It takes no preparation to be who you are. I remember in my MBA days, we would have these interviews and trying to prepare for them and wondering what questions will be asked and trying to be on top of our game. And I remember, feeling how artificial that is. I'm trying to project myself as this person who knows all these things. How much can I cram before an interview? So it's kind of strange, but I was actually very nonchalant about it because there was only one company I wanted to join, and I wasn't really interested in any other company. And so I was very relaxed. I was not trying to do well in any other interview. I was actually quite okay doing badly in all the other interviews. To the point where one of the interviewers, as I came in, he said, "I hope you don't mind if I smoke." I said, "Actually, I do mind." So he was quite bugged. He had to put his cigarette off. He thought, of course, he can smoke. Guy wants a job. I do mind. And the point is that why do we have to impress anybody? Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. So ever equipped. You are ever equipped. Even if you think you're not, you are actually. You're ever equipped. You're always equipped to deal with whatever comes up. But this requires a little bit of emptying yourself. Emptying yourself of your notions about yourself. Notions like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough yet. If people really found out who I really am, they would be so disappointed. I'd better put up a good show. Imposter syndrome. I don't really deserve to be part of fill in the blanks, this college, this organization, this family, this community. I don't really deserve to be a part of this. Imposter syndrome. I need to prove myself. I remember coaching this very senior executive, head of an entire country, entire continent actually, for a very major company. And he told me how he always felt he was not impactful enough. His presentations weren't impactful enough. His talks weren't impactful enough. Like fascinated that, he's more than proven himself. He's more than proven his leadership, but he still feels tense and nervous that he's not impactful enough. This is an example of how our own thoughts get in the way. It's called Shenpa, stickiness, sticky thoughts. So you're always equipped right now in this moment. You're already equipped. You're fully equipped. I have waited my whole life to say this, and you have waited your whole life to hear this. And a beautiful alchemy happens when you receive it with complete openness. When I say it with complete openness, with no other agenda than to say it, and you receive it with complete openness, with no other agenda than to receive it. Something very clear, something very precise and beautiful. A lovely adjustment takes place. Empty yourself to express yourself. बस एक काम करो, खुद को खाली करो. Just do one thing. Empty yourself. Of what? Empty yourself of your notions of yourself, of your ideas of yourself, of what you think you can and cannot do. And then see the fun. I'd gone to an ashram in Delhi called Gobind Sadan. I imagine it's still there. And there was a teacher there. I'm not sure if he's still alive. And he used to channel these teachings. So he would channel the teachings of Kabir and channel the teachings of Jesus Christ and channel the teachings of Guru Nanak and channel the teachings of the Buddha and channel the teachings of Krishna. All these things would come through him. And one thing very powerful I heard him say is, I want to be surprised by what comes out of my mouth. It's not fair that all of you should be hearing something new, but I get to regurgitate my knowledge. I want to be surprised by what comes out of my mouth. Look at that level of emptiness. Empty yourself to express yourself. Trust the fact that you are ever equipped. Just have a sense that you are forever ready. Because it takes infinite preparation to be who you're not. It takes zero preparation to be as you are, to be who you are. Without your memory, without your comparisons, without your judgments, is this not the most perfect moment of your life? Take out memory, take out comparison, take out expectations, take out judgments. Is this not the most perfect moment of your life? Deeper than the ocean, wider than the sky, with no fixed center. So empty yourself to express yourself. This requires a willingness to be simultaneously bold and vulnerable. It's kind of a paradox. To be willing to reveal yourself, and that takes boldness as well as, a kind of transparency. And there's no guarantee that you will always be embraced. You may actually be judged. something very powerful happened to me in the process of transitioning from the usual life to monk life. I had to go through the process of letting people know, my parents and relatives know, that I'm doing something quite different, becoming a Buddhist monk. This is in 2002, I think. And I was fascinated by all the different reactions and responses. Some people were very happy for me. Some people were kind of confused. Some people thought I was out of my mind. And the interesting thing is, in Buddhism, you cannot become a monk without your parents' permission. This is quite a unique thing about Buddhism. You can't just run away and become a monk. You need your parents' permission. So I couldn't just leave. I had to wait until my parents gave me permission. And the powerful thing that happened to me deep inside of me is I realized, what is my true responsibility? I could see my parents' perspective. They had a certain idea of how I should live my life. Have a job, get married, get so-called settled down. Settle down. What a funny phrase, settle down. Only dead people are settled. Everybody else is unsettled. So, and I could see that that's their worldview. That's where they're coming from. At the same time, I also could see that I was not really answerable to them. I was answerable to myself. At the end of the day, I had to contend with myself. I have to contend with myself. I'm actually answerable to myself for how I've lived my life. So the powerful realization for me, I'm not here to please others. I'm here to live my truth. In the process of living my truth, some will be pleased, some will be displeased. Some will be highly pleased, some will be indifferent, and some will be highly displeased. But there's one person who I'm stuck with. Life is somehow designed in a way. There's one person I'm stuck with from birth to death. And that is this one. That is this one. The only long-term relationship I have is with myself. So let's at least make sure this one is pleased. Others may or may not be pleased. Let's at least make sure one of them is pleased. So I could see that my parents would have wanted me to do something different. And I could have suppressed my calling and done that. But I could see that in the long run, it would backfire badly. Because I would resent them, and I would have a low regard for myself. Why would I resent them? Because they did not let me become a monk. And I would have a low regard for myself. I did not have the courage to follow my heart. And I knew that in the short run, it's going to be a little unpleasant. They're going to be disappointed because they have a certain worldview. And for whatever reason, life has given me a different worldview. And I have to honor my worldview. I see my responsibility towards myself and towards them as more than simply getting home a paycheck, being around physically or emotionally. I could see a deeper dimension to it, which not everybody will understand. And that's all right. something in me had already in those first few years of practice, I had seen how this is just it's just a cycle, endless cycle. Birth and death and birth and death and birth and death. Same old thing we run after every time. So let's try something different this time. So I'm not here to please others. I'm here to be true. I'm here to live my truth. And so I take full responsibility. Yes, it may be that I regret the decision of becoming a monk, but I will not regret having made an effort, an attempt to listen to my inner being. May or may not work out. So I take a decision fully willing to take the consequences. I may not get a job like that again. I may be forever behind my peers. It's all right. Fully embracing the consequences. Bring it on. There's a nice famous quote by Ratan Tata. He says, I don't make right decisions. I make decisions and I make them right. What is a right decision? There's no such thing as a right decision. Take the decision, make it right. Take the decision, make it right. Find purpose, the means will follow. बस एक काम करो, खुद को खाली करो. What's it like to empty yourself of your notions of yourself? Of your notions of what this world is, of what this society is, of what your parents expect and the world expects. Can you accept that no matter how you live your life, you're going to disappoint some people? Can you accept that no matter how you live this life, you're going to disappoint some people, even aggravate some people? One of the best decisions I made was to give open general license. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have given you open general license to judge me. Yes, please judge me. Why would I do that? Because you're going to do it anyway. So might as well have my blessings. Please judge me. You may not even be wrong. You may be right. सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग? Biggest affliction, what will people say? What will people say? So subtle, you know, so many ways. सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग? I remember I had to give a talk in London, and something in me said, you know, I'm tired of wearing kurta pajama. Today I'm going to wear t-shirt and jeans. I'm supposed to give this talk, and there were a few hundred people coming. I said, नहीं, आज नहीं पहना kurta pajama. Yeah, and I was introduced as a spiritual teacher, and people are expecting some Swami type person to come out. And I came out in my black t-shirt and jeans. I wanted to challenge myself. Let's break this paradigm. People are expecting what I'm expecting. It's nice to challenge oneself like that. I could see some people like little taken aback. Who's this fellow? सबसे बड़ा रोग क्या कहेंगे लोग? I think it's a living thing. I don't think you ever come to a place where you're done and dusted. It's a living thing. It's leaning into the edge. How authentic can I be without completely ruining my connection? It's a dance. It's a dance. And you take a risk. When you're authentic, you do take a risk of ruining the connection. And when you are too focused on connection, you do take the risk of losing yourself, of not being true to yourself. So you see, it's a dance, and you will never come to a place where you're just done. It's a living thing. It's a living thing, and it demands, bas ek kaam karo, khud ko khali karo. Empty yourself. Empty yourself of your notions of yourself. And you'll be shocked to find you're fully equipped. You're fully equipped. You always were equipped. You waited your whole life for this. What people call luck is actually opportunity meeting preparation. You have been preparing your whole life. When you realize that, you will always be lucky. It takes no preparation to be who you are. It takes infinite preparation to be who you're not. Would you be willing to allow yourself to be the way you are? Would you be willing to disappoint a lot of people? A very beautiful thing that Osho once said is that the most free person in this world is the useless person. Look around you. The most useful people are the most in demand. They don't have a moment of free time. The more useful you are, the more popular you are, the more useful you are. Look at the best doctors. They have no time to even play with their kids. The more useful you are, the more in bondage you are. The more useless you are, the more free you are. So what's the worst thing that'll happen? They'll call you useless. You'll say, wow, what a wonderful thing. It takes infinite preparation to be who you're not. It takes no preparation to be who you are. I met a teacher called Jasmuheen many years back, and she had a kind of an awakening living in a small town in Australia. She had an awakening, and she remembered many past lives, including some in which she'd had a very miserable death on account of starvation. And she made a deep promise to herself that I want to learn how to not be reliant on food. I want to learn to live without being reliant on food. I don't know if you know this, there's a phenomena called inedia. There are thousands of people around the world who are living without food. Some of you might be shocked to hear this. It's actually true. There are entire documentaries made on this. It really baffles the scientific mind. How is it possible? So anyway, I met Jasmuheen. And Jasmuheen told me that she had no interest in being a teacher. She was just happy that this knowledge had arisen within her, and she was able to live not eating anything or hardly eating anything. And then her inner guidance said, you got to teach this. And she's like, no, I don't want to teach this. I'm quite happy. No, you have to teach this. Your mission on this earth is to teach this. But I don't want to teach this. I just want to live my simple life. She kept resisting it, and she began getting sick. She got more and more and more sick. And she's like, why am I getting sick? And the inner guidance is like, because you have to teach this. So she made a pact. I love this part of the story. She said, I made a pact. I said, all right, if I have to teach this, then there is a condition. Whenever I speak, whenever I teach, all the wisdom from this lifetime and all possible past lifetimes is available to me. All the wisdom from the future of this lifetime, including the future of all possible future lifetimes, is available to me. Access to the library of universal wisdom is flawlessly available to me. On that condition, I am willing to teach. Wow, what an intention. She's making a pact with her own destiny. So imagine that for a moment that this is your state, right? That wherever you are, you have access to all your wisdom, past, present, future, including all of universal wisdom. It's all always available to you, like in the palm of your hand. There's a beautiful scripture in Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, which says, if you want to be a Buddha, don't practice many things. If you want to be a Buddha, do not practice many things. Practice just one thing. What is that one thing? Practice Mahakaruna. Mahakaruna is great compassion. Practice great compassion. When you practice great compassion, all the Buddha's teachings are like in the palm of your hand. In the palm of your hand. If you want to be a Buddha, do not practice many things. Just practice one thing. Practice great compassion. Bodhicitta, Mahakaruna. All the Buddha's teachings are like in the palm of your hand. So suppose this is your state. Let's just assume this is your state, that you have access to all possible wisdom, past, present, future. One thing you should avoid doing is assuming anything about your spiritual development. Your mind is a notoriously bad guesser of your spiritual attainment. You have no idea. You could be a fully enlightened sage just here to take a vacation, just here to enjoy one particular slice of the infinite possibilities of what existence can be. There's no way of proving you're not. If impermanence is a bondage, then permanence is also a bondage. True enlightenment is beyond any kind of limitation of birth and death versus never being born, never dying. True enlightenment is beyond that. No such restrictions. You have become one with the fabric of everything. And everything is a movie projected onto you, the screen of you. You are the screen on which the universe is projected. So don't make guesses about your progress. You're definitely wrong. Any guess you make, definitely wrong. Neti, neti, iti, iti. You're not that, you're not that. And you are all of that, you're all of that. So Jasmuheen, as a result, was fully equipped, ever equipped. You are also ever equipped. Now it's a matter of clarity. The one with the most clarity has the most influence. What is your degree of clarity? Why are you here? Come up with anything that makes sense to you, and that is your clarity. So for example, I am here to sow an incorruptible seed of awakening. I'm here to sow an incorruptible seed of awakening in the hearts and minds of everyone and everything in my field. If you have accidentally or consciously wandered into my field, I'm sorry, you're in trouble, because you're going to get a seed that is incorruptible, and it's going to lead to an awakening, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not. You have received the seed. Now, if this is my clarity, then I am ever equipped. And even in my goofiness, and even in the ways that I disappoint you, and even in the ways that I don't match your expectations, the seed has been sown. In disappointing you, I've appointed you. Such is the power of intention, Sankalp Shakti. One of my teachers had a lovely, Byron Katie, she has this lovely way of saying this. She said, when I enter a room, I know that everyone loves me. I just don't expect them to know it yet. What an amazing intention. When I enter a room, I know that everyone loves me. I just don't expect them to know it yet. Isn't that stunning? Please repeat the phrase for people who don't eat much. It's called Inidia, I-N, not sure how to spell it. You can look up The Light documentary. That's a very good documentary on this phenomena. thelightdocumentary.com, I think, or .org. The whole documentary on people who don't eat food. And the documentary filmmaker is himself not sure if it's true or it's false. He's coming with a skeptical, or at least a open-minded stance. And he interviews both the doctors and researchers as well as these people, including a very interesting man from India who from childhood has not eaten anything or even drunk any water for that matter. And this should really be impossible. And doctors certainly don't believe it, but then they research him. I'll leave it for you to explore further. This universe is far more mysterious than we think and far more mysterious than we can think, said Heisenberg. So expect the unexpected. I need, yeah, that's right. I-N-E-D-I. I need, yeah. बस एक काम करो, खुद को खाली करो. बस एक काम करो, खुद को खाली करो. So wherever you go, there you are. If you're asked to speak, it's your turn to speak. You are meant to speak. If someone else is speaking, it's your turn to listen. Listen. Wherever you go, there you are. You're fully equipped to speak. You're fully equipped to help, to support. There are 4 things you can do in any situation. You can observe, you can guide, you can facilitate, and you can co-create. You can observe, you can guide, you can facilitate, and you can co-create. All are powerful. Observation is powerful. Guiding is powerful. Facilitating is powerful. Co-creating is powerful. You are the God of your local universe. I don't say this lightly. You are the God of your local universe. There's a powerful teaching where this man was praying to Lord Shiva for many, many, many years, been praying to Lord Shiva to appear before him. And one day he gets really frustrated and he said, this is a waste of time. I've been praying for so many years. And Lord Shiva, you're not appearing. So I'm actually really doubting if this was worth it. I've dedicated so many years of my life to you. So many ways I have prayed to you. And all I've asked you is for you to appear before me, and you're not doing it. So I think this is a waste of time. So that night he has a dream. And Lord Shiva says, I will reveal myself to you tomorrow. I will reveal myself to you tomorrow. So in the dream, he asked Lord Shiva, so how will I recognize you? And Lord Shiva says, I will be the one without a head. I will be the one without a head. All right. So he wakes up in the morning and he's very eager. He's looking around. Who doesn't have a head? Is it a human? Is it an animal? What is this thing without? Is it like a riddle? Who is the one without a head? The whole day goes by. It's like, what? What kind of, was that just a random dream? Did it not have any truth to it? Did Lord Shiva lie? I haven't met anybody in the day without a head. And just as the day is about to end, it hits him like a bolt of lightning, the biggest shock of all. He can't see his own head. He can see legs, he can see hands, but at some point above the shoulders, can't see a head. There's no head here. Wow. He'd been praying to himself the whole time. So there is one thing that separates you from all other beings. All other beings have got a head. You don't have a head. You imagine your head. You can see your head in a mirror, but you can't directly experience your head. And that's what makes you different from every other being in this universe. You cannot see your own face directly. This is not a small thing. When others close their eyes, nothing happens. But when you close your eyes, the whole world disappears. When others turn around, nothing happens. But when you turn around, the whole world turns with you. This is not a small thing. You are the God of your local universe. As the God of your local universe, you are fully equipped to observe, to guide, to facilitate, and to co-create. To observe, to guide, to facilitate, and to co-create. These are teachings from the wing makers. And what are you here to guide towards? What are you here to facilitate? What are you here to co-create? What are you observing? How everyone and everything is equally the God of its local universe. This is a nested universe, entangled universe. You are in me and I am in you. The world is in me and I am in this world. What I see in you, I evoke in you. What you see in me, you evoke in me. It's a nested, it's an entangled universe. I am only ever rarely meeting myself. And I'm fully equipped to meet myself because it takes infinite preparation to be who I'm not. It takes no preparation to be who I am. But Shiva appeared in his dream. Maybe Shiva's voice appeared. Shiva didn't appear. So these kinds of sessions are like an opportunity for you to call it a truce and stop the internal warfare, stop the infighting with your subpersonalities, access a state of hygge. Hygge is a beautiful Danish word. Cozy togetherness. You being cozy with yourself. And in that process, settling down and allowing a beautiful reboot, reset, and upgrading of your operating system. How do I equip myself to share these things? I empty myself. How can you equip yourself to receive these things? You also empty yourself. Like Jacob Lieberman, dropping all his index cards and speaking from the heart, speaking from not knowing. Being willing to disappoint. I'm not here to please others. I'm here to live my truth. Open general license to everyone to judge me. The worst that will happen is they will decide that I'm a useless person. And what a gift that will be. The most useless people in the world are the most free people in this world. The most useful people in this world are the most bound people in this world. Can't even breathe. Not such a bad thing to be useless. My friend Clea Chandmal was she teaches permaculture, and she was talking about how it's thanks to the procrastinators of the world that we still have a planet where we can breathe. If all of us became these high achievers, if all of us became these influencers, if all of us became these multimillionaires with endless goals, there'd be no planet left. Thanks to the procrastinators, the lazy folk of the world. Thanks to that, we still have some semblance of a planet left. Isn't it amazing? So pat yourself on the back if you think you're a lazy person. Wonderful. Your ancestors will be grateful to the lazy people. Yesterday's solutions are today's problems. We'll have a couple of minutes of silence before we end. Very nice. So we've been ending these sessions with an intention. And for today, the intention is very simple. The intention is to feel that you are fully equipped, ever equipped. Wherever you go, there you are. There's no accident. There's no atom in the universe that's in the wrong place. So you are in the right place. I think Ram Dass says it beautifully. He says, everything is perfect, including your desire to improve it. So you are a secret agent of the infinity, God in clever disguise. God is grand overall design. God, grand overall design. This is God playing hide and seek with God. And you are the God of your local universe. You are here to show up and to see the beauty and the goodness and the truth in everyone and everything. And as you do that, you instantly fulfill your dharma, you fulfill your reason for being. And nothing is wanting and nothing is in excess. even the attachment towards wanting things to be perfect, even the anxiety around non-perfection, even that evaporates. What a wonderful gift. May your anxiety around non-perfection evaporate, if that is what you want. Tathastu. Tathastu, and so it is. And so it is. Please repeat the Danish word. The Danish word is hygge, Hygge, hygge. Cozy togetherness. All right, everybody, please take rest. Please be well. Good night. Goodbye.